Man, it was going down on tonight. Let's talk about the haves and have-nots. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now remember, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. And make sure you click all when you click the notifications. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box as well as in the comment section. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And check out my YouTube partner, BK World 2, which is Black Netflix. She get shows like the haves and the have-nots, RuPaul's Drag Race, and even Love and Hip Hop. So definitely go over there and check out BK World 2 today, man. But this is the Haves and the Have-Nots, Season 8, Episode 15, and the name of this episode is The Executor. I couldn't wait to talk about this episode because this episode gave me life. There was so much that went down, and finally I can honestly say Tyler did the thing with this episode right here, because that ending, I was not expecting that to go down. So I was like, wow, Vinny is a ruthless motherfucker. And I'm going to explain that, but I'm going to save that for last. But let's begin this. I just couldn't wait. You know, I'm actually tired, so forgive me if I'm a little all over the place, but I'm going to try to narrow it down and not be before you guys long. So let's get this. First, I'm going to talk about Veronica, Laurel, and Samuel. Veronica calls Laura at 4 a.m. doing the most, letting her know, yes, I need my pool clean. And, you know, Laura is trying to respond to her. She's like, bitch, you're talking. You need to listen. I'm like, you giving attitude at 4 a.m.? You mean ass. Like, she was doing the most. Then she tells her that, yes, I want my pool clean. I need some plants removed. And I also need a massage. And yes, make sure the masseuse has a knowledge in the paleo and keto diet, and make sure that bitch don't wear that scent that she always wears. I was like, you are doing the most at 4 a.m. So yeah, because she even came at Laura, was like, it's 4 a.m. you should be up by now, because she has to be to work by 6. But she said, I usually get up at 5. Like, well, that's probably the reason why your ass was late the first time on that damn interview. You lucky you got the spot. But we all know your ass ain't lucky at all with this situation, because this situation is about to get really intense. So the next time we see them, you know, they're at Veronica's house. You got Samuel cleaning the pool, and we see that Miss Laura looked gorgeous. She looks like money now that she's wearing Veronica's clothes, and she's pretty much just doing all of her little things here and there. But before that happened, after they hung up the phone with Veronica, Samuel and Laura had a conversation back and forth, and he's like, yeah, we got to make this mark, we about to do this. So we see Derek's plan is now coming into fruition, and you know, Miss Laura let it be known there will be no flirting, because you know how I get. There better not be no flirting. So I'm like, so yeah, Laura will go to bat for that man. I mean, that's like, you know, that's like the caramel odontist. No, ain't nobody coming near that. It's the same way that Veronica is about David. So this could get kind of interesting. So I'm seeing some of the stuff that Tyler's planning, and I'm here for it. I mean, it's pure art. That's all I got to say about it. But yeah, this shit is getting crazy. So we immediately notice that as soon as Veronica notices Samuel, her lady bits went into overdrive, y'all, because she was just like, just couldn't, just really trying to get her composure together, because she is staring at him. And but Veronica is a strategic hoe. She is the kind of hoe that has so many different tricks up her sleeve that she could easily get the man and you will never know it, because it's a strategic operation. Some of these hoes are geniuses, and she's a genius hoe. Let's just be real. I mean, hell, she was sleeping with all them damn men under David's nose. Shit, that's a strategic hoe for you. So here it is, she pulling strategy. She tells Laura to go clean her bathroom, because at first Laura wanted to introduce she wanted to introduce her to Samuel, but she was like, no, that's okay. So soon as she sends Laura upstairs, she goes flirt. She calls out, and she finally meets Samuel. They face to face, and Samuel's kind of playing the game or whatever, and he was saying that we really need this job because we're really in a really tough spot. I mean, we've really been having it hard, and because he lets her know he's a contractor, pool boy, but they hustlers. And then all of a sudden, Veronica, you can just tell she is turned on by sexy ass Samuel. And next thing you know, when she tells him about their life, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, oh, really, bitch? Oh, I'm like, oh, now you want to show sympathy because you want some dick? You don't take your little, horny ass on somewhere, Veronica. And then, he pretty much says that, look, I really need to get back to work and all that, because he's playing it off. But you could tell he was liking the fact that she was into him. It was boosting his ego, and he was kind of flexing with it. So I kind of peeped Samuel on that. I'm like, okay, yeah, you can be tough now, but Veronica ain't what you want, bruh. You may not live fucking with that. So then we see that she goes upstairs, to meet up with Laura. Then she tells Laura, I need you to go and get this scarf for me that's gonna go with the look that I'm working on. Getting her out the house, and told her to take her car. She going to a very pristine place to pick up my dress, my wares. I'm not just gonna have you, just dressed like anything. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna change your outfit. I'm gonna put on a suit, and I'm gonna give you a wig, and you just gonna be fierce. I'm like, Veronica is evil. Like, you literally are trying to make this girl a replica of you in case somebody on them streets want to take you out. They gonna take out Laura instead. All this damn Veronica's a mess. That was crazy. Now, next I'm going to talk about Catherine. We see that Catherine finally gets an officer to talk to her, and it turns out this guy's named Kendrick, and Kendrick is actually a nice guy. He's a new officer. He actually went to school with Amanda, and she was like, well, why didn't you stay in school? She said, well, the only reason why they let us in is because of those scholarships you gave us. So yeah, they accepted us, but they really didn't give a damn about us really being successful in our education. Where they just got them in, and then he had trouble, fitting in because he's pretty much was in this Ivy League school, and that. But he did say that he's gonna try to look into to see what's going on with Wyatt and everything. And I'm like, girl, I don't know if you're gonna like the outcome of this, but I'm gonna get to it. But we see that we finally see the inmate that was giving Catherine a hard time in the first episode. We come to find out her name is Sylvia, and Sylvia was pretty much just talking reckless to Catherine, and was like, girl, your son gonna die if you don't come up with that money. I hope you know that, right? Like, yeah, yeah, because, yeah, you better pay that money, because the Malones don't play around. And then, Kath stepping down for anything. So, Catherine was on her pedestal, giving it to, old girl. Sorry, as I said, I'm tired, so I'm kind of trying to keep it focused and not be all over the place. But I was like, yo, Catherine is on one. Like, Catherine, you are literally stuck in jail, and until all of your ducks in a row come together, you're gonna be stuck there. Like, seriously. But Catherine is not letting go of who she is and her prestige, and she is letting them know, you all will fear me. If you are wise, you will fear me. I will see to it that all of you in this jail will fear me. Like, I was like, whoa. Cause she pretty much told Sylvia, you know, case you were wondering, I am just as much of a force to be reckoned with, and if you were wise, you would fear me. I was just like, whoa, Catherine was not here for us, so that went down. Next, I'm gonna talk about, you know, Jeffrey and Madison. We see that it's morning, you know, as they slept the night away with each other, and among other things. But Madison is getting ready for work. Jeffrey wants to know if was Justin still out there, you know, and he said no. So they pretty much kind of exchanged with each other, and pretty much Jeffrey says this feels good because there is some good chemistry between Madison and Jeffrey, even though Madison is doing the most right now. But you know, he said that yeah, it does. You know, it really does feel good. So we see that Jeffrey really is catching feelings for Madison. He's liking Madison's groove. Madison then tore up his bits, and now he don't know what to do with his damn self. We saw you, Jeffrey. We saw you. But Madison ends up leaving, and all of a sudden, you know, Jeffrey's still in the bed, and all of a sudden he hears a knock on the door. He immediately thinks it's Madison. So he goes and gets on his blue robe, only to go to the door, and all of a sudden theme music, and it is Justin, aka Glenn Close. Hi. I was like, Glenn Close is so pathetic. That bitch been there the whole damn night. She just probably went to take a piss break or a coffee break, and then decided to come back like, stare here, bitch. I swear Justin is such a queen. It's ridiculous. Like, hi. And then he starts with the bullshit, and I'm like, Glenn Close, why don't you just go home and boil some rabbits and leave Jeffrey alone? He don't want you, sis. But then Jeffrey put it on her, and now she cuckoo for Cocoa Cock, and that's pretty much what's going on here. She is cuckoo for Cocoa Cock, and Jeffrey is like over it. You know, he's like, look, you need to go somewhere, like you need to leave. And he's like, you just need to leave me alone. I moved on. He's like, I don't think I can do that. And Jeffrey's like, why the hell not? He's like, because I gave up everything for you. I'm like, child, you ain't give up nothing. Nobody told you to do the shit you did, and that's why I can't with Glenn Close and her shenanigans, because she's always putting the blame that Jeffrey made her do this and Jeffrey made her do that. Jeffrey ain't make you do nothing. Jeffrey didn't make you fondle him in the back of that police car, boo-boo. You've been chasing black meat ever since your brother whooped your ass, and you just been doing it on the low, and you used your position as the cop to do it, aka police brutality, you piece of shit. Now that I've said that, Jeffrey did the right thing and slammed the door on his face. But then the next thing you know, Tanner popped up. So just like Justin been telling Jeffrey all this time, Tanner has been doing the same thing to Justin. So Glenn Close, yeah, boo-boo, you got one up by your big brother, and your big brother with his homophobic ass like, oh, so that's what you're doing? You want that black man to sodomize you? I'm like, if you don't take your stinking ass home with that. And he's like, no, that's not what's going on. He's after me. And then, because it's funny, because right before Jeffrey shut the door, he's like, I can do you better than he can. I'm like, I don't think so, boo-boo, because with Madison, Jeffrey was doing splits and doing somersaults in the damn bed, honey. He was never doing that with you. So no, honey, you are not better than Madison. Madison is on some serious bullshit, and he does You know, his little joking and slick mouth does rub you the wrong way. It makes you want to slap the shit out of him. But Madison is swole, baby. And Jeffrey is getting delivered by the white pink, and you can't deny that, because Jeffrey was doing splits, doing handstands. He was, you know, just shooting up soon as Madison got up. No, Madison is tearing Jeffrey up. Jeffrey is getting his life, something that he never got with you, because everything with you was always done in the fear of the moment, because you're so screwed up, because you're on the down low and because you're volatile. It was just a rush. But he don't got no feelings for you, bruh. There's nothing to go with that. But Glenn, you can't tell Glenn Close nothing. Glenn, yeah, once you slice a piece of Glenn Close, it's just over. It's just fatal attraction over and over and over. It's fatal, and yeah. It's going to get ugly, because next week we really see Justin and Tana together, because when Tana showed up and started going back and forth with Justin, next he hit the shit out of Justin and dragged his ass away from that door. I'm like, Glenn Close is pathetic. Now somebody is watching your ass. Yeah, mama done put the brother on you. Yeah, mama ain't playing. So that went down. Now I'm going to talk about this whole thing with Jim and Hannah. Jim tried to track the car to find Wyatt. Now the situation is that he gave the password, but they told him it's the wrong password, and we come to find out that the password for his car was the same password for Amanda's car, which now is Hannah's, because Catherine gave it to her. So he checks and finds out that the passwords were changed. That the password was changed for both of the cars. So he calls Hannah to ask for a favor. Hannah is not here for any of it. She's saying, oh, remember when you had me call you Mr. Jim? Well, it's now Miss Hannah. What you want? And he's like, look, I need your help. She's like, and they going back and forth, and Hannah is like hanging up on him, and he's like, oh, this bitch, like, I'll ring the damn phone until the damn ringer falls off. You got me fucked up, bitch. And he was just talking reckless shit, still being condescending and arrogant as always, because Jim's a sociopath. He don't know how to turn it off. Like, dude, like, Hannah has control of everything, bruh. You ain't got shit without fucking Hannah. And that's what's really gonna hit him to his core. Because even at this moment, he has no fucking clue that Hannah has given power of attorney to Hannah. Which means Hannah runs everything. And Jim has nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I am just waiting for that reveal to happen, because that is going to break Jim to his core. Because Jim is totally motivated by the fact that he's always had this security from Catherine. And now that that security has been taken and that is being run by a black woman, it's about to be some shit. But yeah, she wasn't here for it and pretty much hung up on him, and he kept calling back, and then it got to the point where Hannah be breaking out in hymns and spirituals like, yes, Jesus loves me. I'm like, girl. Like them a few seasons ago, like when she just broke out in song just out of nowhere, and we all were cracking up about it. It was the same thing this time. She like washing dishes. Yes, Jesus loves me. I'm like, I was cracking up. So then we see that Jim calls David and asks David to go to Hannah's house and meet up with her and get ask her to give up the password so he can find out where Wyatt is. But Wyatt ain't got that car. Miss Raj has that car, as I said on the last review. Raj got that car. Wyatt had literally got dropped off there. That girl wasn't waiting for him. It'd be surprised if she was waiting around the Iron Bone, but knowing what the Iron Bone is and how they run things, she ain't waiting at no damn Iron Bone for no Wyatt. At all. she got that car. but we see that finally when David's on his way out, he runs into Alyssa. They go back and forth and everything, and she wants her stuff, and he's like, I ain't got your stuff. She's like, yes you do. I left my things on in the table in your house. He sends the guard to go in to get her stuff, and she was like, look, I'm sorry about that I brought Erica to you. I just know how much she loved you. She had letters and everything. And he's like, I don't care. And he's like, why? Because the fact that she was a whore and all that. He's like, no, it's because, you know, I'm just over this, you know. And then they go back and forth, and he pretty much, she's like, look, I just wanted to be, you know, I just wanted to be there for you because I know that she truly loved you and all of that. And he was like, you know what, you need to get the hell off my property, leave me the fuck alone, you know, you're a whore just like Erica was, and I don't care. Because David ain't here for it. I mean, the fact that you in that business, he ain't going down that road no more. Absolutely not. You know, because he come to find out not only was he in love with her, but the fact that she was playing him the whole time. But then now come to find out she really was in love with you. But like, dude, girl, it's too late for that. And the fact that you tried to came in on that, you just proved how thirsty you were, Alyssa. And she was just pathetic. And she's like, I'm sorry, I really, really am. I'm sorry, I really, really am. I'm sorry, I really, really. Look, just get your ass on, Alyssa. Just go somewhere, because we ain't got time for the shit. We're just over it. It's done. So we saw that go on. Then we get this crazy showdown between David and Hannah at the Crier's house. He's trying to get information from her. She is giving him so much lip back. She is like going back and forth. He's like, well, that's not a Christian way to respond. She says, sometimes, you know, sometimes you pray for something to die. Do you want me to pray that prayer for you? I was like, oh, Hannah, you are being really nasty right now. But then he was like, what is it with you, Hannah? Why you have such hostility towards me? And she says, I'm going to tell you the truth. I could have just texted you this over the phone, but you a trifling ass man, just like Jim Crier. And I ain't got no use for you. I have no care for you. And you just need to get the hell on. But he explained to her, because he confessed to her that Wyatt was the one that broke into the house. He needs the code to locate the car, and the code is the same as the one you had for it was the same code for Amanda's car, which is now your car. And you know, she said that yeah, she changed it because once Catherine gave it to me, she told me to change it. But she says, okay, eventually she decided to give in. They go inside the house and she, you know, changed the code, and then she says, I separated the code, so therefore I have my code and to give this to Jim, and he can set up a new one, you know, for the car. And then all of a sudden David starts telling her about his upbringing, that his mother was a janitor, and the only friend she had was this woman, I think, named Sally Nomans, which I think is possibly Catherine's mom. We don't know yet. But that was the only friend she had, and she was this very well-off white lady. And he said that he was embarrassed by his mother because his mother was so poor. I mean, she worked hard to raise me and my sisters. So we see that David actually came from a low-income family, just like she did. And he starts sharing that even at my high school graduation, I hid her from everybody. And I was like, dude, that is messed up. Like, he was embarrassed by his own mother because she struggled. And it's a shame that, you know, we live in a society where we shit on people who have it hard. You know, and it's just so ass backwards to me, and it's just sad. And we see this is why David is so screwed up. The fact that he was revealing this to her, I don't know about y'all, but did y'all catch some chemistry going on between the two of them? I'm like, maybe that dream that Veronica was having, maybe he low-key is interested in Hannah, because Hannah reminds him so much of his mother, and he says that I admire you. I see that you try to set your kids up to do the right thing, and you love your children, and you try to raise your children up in the best way, and I admire that about you. I celebrate that because it reminds me of my mother. I was like, wow. But then when he's about to walk off, she was like, David, is your mother proud? I was like, boy, it was like she cut him with a knife. I was like, wow, that was crazy. But yeah, she has a point. But Hannah, you mean as hell. She is really reeling. But in all due respect, that was a good question. Is your mother proud? Because he talked about how his mother died on a bus on the way to work. I'm like, I can do bad all by myself. But that was interesting, you know, that they had this exchange, and I'm thinking he probably does low key got a thing for Hannah, but he resents her because she's poor. Crazy. Then we also got this scene with Connolly and Charles. Connolly just come in the thing and already make himself a drink. You ain't asked or nothing. Connolly's alcoholic. He got a thing for the sauce. And pretty much Charles was asking him about, like, bruh, you know, what the hell? But then he talked about him, you know, going to see the Attorney General, and yeah, he stuck it to him, and he's like, we need to take down this whole administration. But Charles is dead set against that. He's like, look, we're playing good, and we just need to move forward. That's all we needed to do. There's no more, you know. And he says that the thing is, but he's like, you know, I'm all about revenge. This is Connolly speaking, and like he's all about revenge. And Charles was like, so am I, but at the right time and at the right, you know, at the right opportunity. And he's like, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. And then he was saying that, yeah, we need to get on top of things. You need to reach out to Candace Young. And he was like, do not bother her. And Charles was like, I mean it. I'm like, Charles got that damn mean streak like shit. And he hides behind that smile. That's what makes him so crazy. But Connolly, I don't know. Connolly definitely got an agenda of his own too. So we're going to be watching Connolly's ass. And that was a mess. Now I am going to get to the scene that shocked the fuck out of me. One, we're back at the Ironbone. Wyatt walked in there free willy, completely high as hell, trying to exchange jewelry. Finally, him and Vinny go back and forth, and Vinny, you can see, is bloodthirsty for revenge. So he pretty much is saying, you don't know me, you don't know who I am. Wyatt's completely high in his mind, so he doesn't even know where the hell he is. It's just, he's completely spaced out. And he's like, you know, come on, man, you know, I can call my parents to get some money or whatever, like, I just need this, you know, I gotta get some heroin. You got some heroin? You got, you know, you got what I need? And then Vinny is just like reeling, and he's just like, yeah, I definitely got what you need. Boys, take this guy to the basement. I'm like, bro, you get taken down to the basement, you ain't walking about that bitch. So soon as he said take him to the basement, I already was like on the edge of my seat, like, oh shit, where the fuck is this going? And pretty much he tells Sandy, you gonna have to prove your weight if you want to ride with the Malone family. And I mean that. So whatever I ask you to do, you're gonna do it. And he's like, yeah, I got it. They get down in the basement. You know, Wyatt is knocked out because he's high. Vinny throws a bucket of water on him. You know, they go back and forth, and this time he remembers who Vinny is, and he's like, you know where the hell you are? He's like, well, yeah. He's like, yeah. And he's like, you see this, Scar? You see what you did to me? He's like, yeah. He's like, come on, man, let me out of here. I can call my parents. I can get money if that's what you want. He's like, I don't want no damn money. He's like, but they paid you. He's like, you think that makes it right? I'm like, bruh. Vinny, now that he's running the Malone family, he is going to be a fucking problem, like I said. So he pulls out a gun and gives it to Sandy and tells Sandy, kill him. And you see Sandy is fighting it, and all of a sudden what was coming in my head was, you say you a gangster, but you never pop nothing. Sandy, you's a wankster, and you need to stop fronting, because clearly he is no muscle. He is all bark and no bite. He is no muscle, and he literally was just putting on. He got this nasty deposition, but really ain't got no heart to be in the Malones, even though he's related to them. Because Mitch has way more heart than fucking Sandy, and that's the reason why he always coming for Mitch, because he's jealous of him. I'm already peeping that. But he tells him to kill Wyatt. He literally, it got to the point where he was like pointing the gun directly at Wyatt, and then he was like, oh no, I can't do it, I can't. Then he was like, yeah, I know. Pop! I was like, oh shit, Vinny, you just fucking popping bullets and ain't taking no fucking names. Anybody can get a fucking bullet to the dome. I was like, oh shit. So it looks like Wyatt is gone, y'all. Wyatt is gone, and that is going to wreak a kind of hell that we have never seen from the Criers. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, get down in those comments and let me know your thoughts. So until next time, everybody, take care.